COVID-19 has created a global health crisis. This has forced schools to rethink the way they educate their students by adapting to online schooling. This crisis is having a profound impact on students' mental well-being. But this isn't a new problem. COVID-19 is just shedding light on it. Even before this crisis, we had a growing stress pandemic spreading rapidly among students. According to the American Psychological Association, 83% of students reported that their source of stress is school. This stress can negatively impact students' academic performance, which can also affect the school's reputation and ranking. In fact, you just have to think back at your time at school when you had to pull all those all-nighters to meet a deadline. But you also remember that you had no way to communicate your stress to school. And as students right now, we can tell you nothing has changed, even though there are numerous articles, such as a report from the Department of Psychology from the University of Pennsylvania, that show that communication can relieve stress in an academic environment. Our solution, D-Stress, is a digital bridge that opens up a new and essential communication channel between schools and students. Our product has two interfaces. One is a mobile app for students, and the other is a computer software that you would download from the App Store, for example, for the school admins. We also have a general website where we will provide additional resources for schools and students.
Allow us to highlight our top features. On the student interface, thanks to our stress tracker, students can express their stress levels to their schools through an optional anonymous series of questions and receive a score at the end. They can also write their opinions on school matters such as planned events or homework in the anonymous feedback. Another feature is the polls created by the schools. Students have a certain amount of time determined by the school admins to answer these polls. Finally, our app offers tips about stress. Now, moving on to the school app. On the school admin's platform, the results from the stress trackers such as the average, the range, and any other statistics can be viewed according to the overall student population. This will help them adapt their student learning journey based on these stress fluctuation. To further understand how students feel about a certain topic, schools can view all the feedback they receive and directly respond to it if they have any other inquiries. If schools want to ask any specific questions to their students to understand their perception on a certain matter, they can even create polls.
As a team, we reached out to the staff and students of 3 private high schools. These schools are Beerworth, Selwyn-House, and Rejoignez-nous. We received very useful insight, varying from features they'd wish to add to recommendations on our business model. These future partnerships and testimonials will serve as our first success story. From there on forward, we will reach out to about 20 private high schools among the 72 total in Quebec through UpstartED's network and pitch them through video conferences. We will then expand our market to the public high schools. For our business model, we will be using the subscription model. Schools will pay us annually for the service. Costs like a full technical team to build the app, yearly expenses, and a support team will add up to a total of $200,000 Canadian for the first year. To cover these costs, D-Stress will charge a flat rate of $3,000 for the installation of the app. From there on out, we will charge $30 per student, but this rate will dramatically decrease the more students join the app. This will make our solution more affordable for bigger schools, and it gives them more incentive to sign up more of their students. Our app has many competitors, such as Headspace, Office Vibe, and Calm. These companies focus on general stress management or communication between employers and employees. However, D-Stress is distinguished from these apps by our stress tracker feature and feedback options.
In Montreal's high schools, students work tirelessly with tight deadlines and endless all-nighters, yet schools have trouble understanding their struggles. Schools should be made aware of these constant mental strains and adapt according to the students' learning capacities and limits. After the end of this COVID-19 crisis, teenagers will feel more stressed than ever trying to catch up on schoolwork. We want schools to continue taking their students' opinions into account when reaching a decision over matters related to them. This way, D-Stress will provide an optimal experience for the 185,000 students of Montreal and school officials during the school year. We have come a long way since our first night at the bootcamp. Back then, Ojasvi and I were 2 curious teenagers having nothing better to do on a Friday night. We met our former teammates and developed our solution, D-Stress. We pushed through the bootcamp, qualified, oblivious to the long journey awaiting us. As our teammates dropped out, we welcomed new members, Kai and Christie, coming from the retail sector. They managed to catch up very quickly.
Initially, our app was focused on destigmatizing mental health amongst teenagers. Then halfway through the accelerator, we had a discussion with a facilitator that made us pivot in a full 180, and we became a stress communication app. We had a lot of ups and downs, but now we can rely on each other and tackle problems one by one. We have been on a crazy journey to say the least, but to continue it, we need your help.
We ask you, our audience, for your collaboration in bringing this app to life. With the help of technical professionals and UpstartED, we hope to have in-depth discussions with schools and potential sponsors to pitch them our idea and to implement our solution in the near future. With your help, let's de-stress schools together and starting now. Thank you.